stress. When we gon' that, I'm in my bag like, I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. These folks are ready, and we are underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
Everything you want in a starting quarterback in the NFL, especially in the physical category. If you have the idea that he's one of those rah-rah, spit and fire guys, he's not that at all. But he has a will to win that really the team picks up on, and they can't wait to follow him into victory.
Back 22!
They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Alex Okafor able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's going to go down again. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw. Snyder. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Whitney Merciless. Coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Snyder. And an alley to runs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Here we go now. Green.
Off the play fake. Snyder. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's got some space here. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney Merciless. In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Set. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And to the right side here, it's Allen. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Maybe the first big test of the season here on both sides. This is 3rd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Back to throw. Snyder. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field. Now you've turned it over, and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end, Josh Hill, was the target. And that'll make it 3rd down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
When you're drafted 12th overall, people expect big things out of you, and Sheldon Rankins can provide that. Big, strong, physical player, has excellent quickness, and is really good with his hands, keeping blockers off of him and allowing him to get upfield and into opposing backfields.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
Difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. They give them a gain of 37.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before giving it inside the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Getting the sense Charles are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing on 1st down. Snyder. That's caught by Meredith right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Gets it to Meredith complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Hurry up, here we go.
On the counter, here's Kamara. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Whitney Merciless in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. An update from Buffalo. The Bills have taken an early lead against the Dolphins. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting that 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Demario Davis in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 3-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Snyder setting up the receiver screen here to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
All right, here we go. Blue landed.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
He goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And that'll get him the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Down. Back 22. Back 22.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Hey, who waiting?
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one. And that's caught inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second is Watson, and that is incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it's third down.
So it looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Watson, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw on second down. Snyder trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Third and long. It's Watson. They complete it to Hill. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected, because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Here's Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun on 3rd down. Snyder toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet inbounds. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, Snyder, and that's complete to the right side. It's out. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Snyder. Allen has it, left side. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Off play action. Snyder. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. The Saints on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Green, 39.
Operating from the gun. Snyder. He finds Beckham complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 yards there and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Snyder. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kevin Johnson, former first-round pick there defensively.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Cameron Meredith, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Here we go now.
On 3rd down, Snyder. And that will be incomplete as well. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And Lutz puts this one through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And a look now at Lamar Miller. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
They haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Back to throw, Watson. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd and 10, Watson. He dumps it down to Ingram. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Watson now on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing on 1st down. Snyder. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while. What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. A give. This is Kamara trying to run inside, but nothing there. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. To throw on 3rd down. Snyder looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And Lutz's kick is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Snyder. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Throw left side taken in by Meredith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So they did not bring pressure, and turns out probably a bad idea.
Yeah, he had time to stand in the pocket and deliver a strike. So I'm wondering if they're going to note that, and next time just go ahead and bring that pressure.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. 3-19.
From the gun, Snyder. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 2nd down, Snyder. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Now let's go.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to throw. Snyder. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down.
Now the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. He's fighting, but they're not going to let him in. Stopped at the 2-yard line. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Deshaun Watson and the Texans offense trot back out there. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Down. Who's waiting?
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, it's Watson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Again, it's Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Hey, back 22! Back 22!
Watson looks to throw again. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
And right now I take my rudimentary kindergarten skills and draw where the tackle box would be, because that was close. I thought he was in the tackle box. He has to be very careful where he gets rid of the football from that spot.
Yeah, they say there was a receiver in the area, though.
Yeah. There's always a receiver in the area.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Watson to throw on 3rd down. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's 1st and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire?
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Mark Ingram taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. On 1st down, Snyder gets it to Meredith complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw on second down. Snyder. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Saints on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun. Snyder. Open man, it's Allen. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here we go.
To throw on second down. Snyder. Caught left side, it's Beckham. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 45-yard line. They'll run. This is Kamara. Got some real estate inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter play. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Snyder. And his throw is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and that'll bring up second down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against the secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Second and 10 now from the 27.
Here we go.
Throwing again. Snyder over the middle to Beckham. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the gun on third down, Snyder. Full throw caught, right around the 6. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too.
Personal foul.
And he may get a few more
Face
tacked
mask.
on for good measure.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Automatic
Because
first
they're
down.
inside the 30. So now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Snyder. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cameron Meredith his first touchdown in a Saints uniform. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll be tackled short of the goal line, but there is a flag down. Let's see what the call is here.
The passer, defense.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Back to throw. Snyder. Now he's flushed out right, and he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Lutz now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now a first down throw. Watson. He goes underneath to Ingram. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Down! Back 22!
On first down, Watson. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
From the gun, here's Watson. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On 1st and 10, Snyder completes this one to Meredith. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On the ground, Kamara, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Off the play fake. Snyder. Lifting one in there. That's complete to Thomas. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Coming left is Kamara. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They run it again with Kamara. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
And here's motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Snyder. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And now out comes Houston. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Watson now to throw, and he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Alex Okafor in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Down. Green, the line.
Out of the gun, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
A gain of 6 there on first.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't it?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Kamara. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On 3rd and short, Tolbert, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Green 39! Green 39!
Kamara. And an alley to run. Room to run past midfield. The 40. Past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big play there out of Kamara. 52 yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go!
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
And now movement
Green,
again,
39.
and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
So 3rd down becomes even harder. Now it's going to go back 5 to 3rd and 15. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
3-19.
And here's motion again. And that's going to be 2 in a row.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and
Here we
long.
go. 3-19.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Puts this one through. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20 to 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now it's Watson, and that's incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing 4th quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now
down.
your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Down. Black 22.
Watson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Watson now to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Black 22.
Now Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down. And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. Here's Watson. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like 1 time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo